8th knight, and he was a, you can say, typical example of a, knighthood, chivalry, and some mentality of a typical knight. He was taking part in many duels, in tournaments for knights, but also tournaments for poets, because he was a poet. But he was also misbehaving a lot as every knight, so that's why Bishop really hated this young, rude person. When Duke Henry came up with the idea of building a church, he wanted to build here a church of St. Bartholomew, because St. Bartholomew was a patron of Piast dynasty. So when the workers started to dig the ground during construction of the church, they found a piece of wood that had the shape of cross. So a bishop came and said that, oh, it's a miracle, we found a cross. So it will not be a church of St. Bartholomew, but of Holy Cross. So young Duke said that, okay, so we will build two churches, so where's the problem? So that's why in the ground floor there is St. Bartholomew, and in the upper floor there is Holy Cross. Yes, and it is also a very, very pretty church. It's my favorite church in Wroclaw. It's all about Gothic architecture. It's totally horizontal, totally vertical, and you see that such a gigantic roof is carried on very thin columns. So the construction is really, really nice. Yes, one more thing, the statue behind me, it is a statue, of course, of St. Jan Nepomucen. In Czech language, I believe he's called Nepomuk. Yes?
Nepomucki.
Nepomucki. Okay, so Jan
z Nepomuku.
Jan z
Jan z Nepomuku, but
Jan
now
Nepomucki.
is Jan Nepomucki.
Okay. Because I thought that his name in Czech was Nepomuk, but yes, so Jan Nepomucki. Anyway, this guy was a priest, and he was confessing a wife of a Czech king, Wroclaw. So Czech king was very, very jealous about his young, beautiful wife. So because Jan Nepomucen refused to reveal him the secret of confession, the king's men pulled out his tongue and dropped him to the Vltava river, where he drowned. So have you been to Prague? Have you? You have. You have as well. But you haven't.
This is very good second place for your trip, yes? Prague.
Yeah, yeah, because it's closer than Warsaw and Krakow. Anyway, so anyway, in Prague there is a very famous bridge, the Charles Bridge, one of the oldest bridges in Europe, and you can see this bridge on the statue here. And there is a cool story, because the author of this monument, his name was Jan Jerzy Urbański, and he was studying in Prague in a workshop of famous Brokow family. So it was a family of famous sculptors from Prague. There were two brothers and a father, and Urbański and the Brokows really hated each other, because as it usually happens, a great artist needs a great ego, and two great artists is two great egos, and two great egos is far too much for one little place. So Urbański and Brokow didn't like each other very well, and as you see the Charles Bridge, there are many ornaments of the bridge that were made by Brokow. So Urbański just didn't want to show works of his rival on his monument. So there is just a plain bridge without ornaments that were made by his enemy, you can say. And then one more thing. Yes, orphanage made in the 17th century. Another beautiful example of Baroque in Silesia. Yes, it was found exactly like the St. Anthony's Church that I showed you. It was found by a very, very rich guy. His name was Ludwig Pfalz von Neuburg. He was a cardinal. He was one of 7 electors, so 7 guys that were electing emperors.